Hello, AFI Movie Club. This is Wynn Thomas, the production designer from Do the Right Thing.
What's up there, Sam? How you doing there, boy? Man, I gotta get me a Cadillac like that. Dog, Sam. Just like that.
So here we are in Bed-Stuy, New York, and Sal is pulling up to the front of his pizzeria. Part of the challenge on this film was finding a block or a series of blocks where we could build the pizzeria because we were going to have to burn it at the end of the film. But also, you see the Korean market. We also had to build that as well. You know, the Korean market was crucial to the making of the story. So the block, the location itself, had to have two empty lots directly across from each other, which in and of itself was a big challenge, in addition to the rest of the block servicing the needs of the entire film. I also wanted to find a block that did not have a lot of trees on it, since this movie is all about the heat. In terms of designing Sal's, my thought on it was, you know, the character actually says he built this from scratch. So what I did is I did a lot of research. I went to Little Italy to look at pizzerias there. I went to just several different Italian neighborhoods and looked at pizzerias from a wide variety of neighborhoods and began to put together a series of details that I saw from those environments. I used a lot of decorative sheet metal and lovely warm colors to give the place a sense of warmth and history, which is what Sal is about. On the left side of the screen, you see the wall of Italian figures, which of course is a key component to the plot of the film. I kind of thought of the film from a color point of view as kind of being out in the desert where things are dry and the sun is always beaming down, but it's like after a rainstorm in the desert, very often there's lots of color. So as a result, I tried to sneak color in wherever I could, hence the red wall, which is a very theatrical choice. And the thing about this movie, it's a stage play. These guys are like the Greek chorus in many ways, commenting on the action. And Spike was very receptive to all the ideas of making those sort of bolder choices that you might not normally make when you're making a film. So we see that the pizzeria has been burned and the neighborhood has been destroyed by the fire that happened the night before. What you can't see there is that we actually had to create a 4-foot space between the pizzeria and the actual existing building that it's next to. So there wasn't any possibility of burning an actual building in the block. So every precaution was taken to protect the neighborhood and to make sure that we weren't going to cause any damage to anything else. The burning of the pizzeria took place over several nights of shooting. This was a building that, you know, that we all came to love, and it was a company of actors and crew that we were working with. And everyone loved Danny Aiello. So this portion of the film was very difficult to shoot for everyone. But what I also remember is that Spike was very, very sensitive to the fact that I had built this thing. And they actually waited until I left the set that evening before they actually lit the pizzeria on fire. The early years, there was a team of people who were there who essentially became a family, and we were a family because we came together every single year to make a movie. What I call all the Spike Lee classics were produced during those first 10 years. And that family was not only myself, it was Ernest Dickerson, Robbie Reed, his casting director, Ruth Carter, his costume designer, Monty Ross, who was a producer, friend of Spike's from college, John Killick and Preston Holmes. There was a shorthand that was created. And I think the thing that made Spike comfortable was that he didn't have to explain himself because, you know, when you're with your family, you have to explain it. You kind of know each other. And there was an approach to the business, to the process of movie making that was very special and very unique for those first 10 years, which is why those movies are beautifully told stories and very cinematic films.